Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, folks. This is the More Money Show on WABC. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend on this first weekend of May. My next guest is Tom Del Bacario. You know that he's a regular on this show because he's one of the most brightest political minds I know, and also because I don't know anybody who knows more about what's going on in California and blue states more than Tom Del Bacario. He headed up the Republican Party in California for many years. He actually debated a Kamala, right?
Back in the day when people thought maybe she'd be okay. Back then, Steve, I tried to warn people, but they finally got the message last November, thank God.
And he is also the author of a really great book called The Lessons of the American Civilization, which really is fantastic books, Tom. So congratulations on that. If you want to understand American history, get that book for yourself and your kids and your friends, The Lessons of the American Civilization. So, Tom, the reason I wanted to have you on today is I'm reading about that illustrious governor of California, and who is now Gavin Newsom, who is now clearly running for president, I think. And he was bragging and boasting the other day about the California economy. Now, to his credit and to the credit of California, it is now, according to Gavin Newsom's statistics, the fourth largest economy in the world. He said that they've surpassed Japan in terms of the GDP, which is great. I love America. I want California to succeed. But he glossed over the fact that there are big problems in California, starting with the fact that no state has lost more people in the last 4 or 5 years than California. So what's the truth about California, Tom?
Great question. I want to start with something that drives me nuts about politicians when they take credit for things that they didn't do or despite what they did. Right. And think about the economy. I judge a president. I judge a governor. Did you lower the overall burden government puts on the economy, or on balance, did you raise it? Mm-hmm. And no question that Newsom has raised it. California's economic success is despite Gavin Newsom. Right. And there's no better example of that than this recent statistic that says since 2023, basically when we were done with COVID,
right,
private sector jobs have shrunk by 173,000.
God. And
government jobs have increased by 181,000.
Wow.
Now, that's horrible. That means in 2.5 years, the economy's only grown, the job market's only grown by 8,000. But it's all government jobs, which, right, of course, as Milton Friedman said, the true level of taxation is spending, not just taxes. Yeah. So what is he taking credit for when his economy is shrinking? And this is despite, Steve, in 2019, pre-COVID, the budget was $200 billion. Next year, it's scheduled to be $322, a 61% increase. So you and I have talked many times about government sugar highs with government spending on the economy, and that's where California is.
So do you see, because California was, believe it or not, the state where Ronald Reagan was the governor of
Yes.
California in the 1960s. It's hard to believe, and it wasn't always so left wing as it is today. But there's been a lot of bad leadership in the state of California. California has, I believe, either the first or second highest income tax rate in the country. It's always a contest between New York, where this radio show is based, and California. But we're seeing this trend, Tom, all over the country, where people are simply fleeing these blue states. Once big, beautiful industrial strongholds of the United States, like New York, like New Jersey, like my home state of Illinois, like California, and these states are just in a meltdown right now.
They are, because they've been pushing people out. California's been pushing them out since the 90s. Millions have fled low-tax states. Mm-hmm. You wrote a book about that, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Dr. Arthur Laffer says, taxes have consequences. And so, yes, it's been gutted out. The great demographer Joel Kotkin, years ago, a decade ago, said California is now the place of the rich, public employee unions, and the poor. The middle class has been gutted. Two stats that'll blow your mind, Steve, and this is from a U.S. News and World Report survey. Hardly right-wing, right? California ranks, are you ready? 50th in affordability and 50th in opportunity. Amazing. So when you ask this question of is there a possibility of a turnaround? We saw in the last election that there was a tough on crime bill that passed overwhelmingly, which was opposed by Adam Schiff and Newsom. You have all these issues, whether it's California is worst in the nation in child poverty. 31% of Californians are at or near poverty. Crime, the insurance crisis. There is a frustration that is building in California in need of a candidate that will put positive solutions in front of them. And if that happens, you will the ship will slowly start to turn.
One of the things that's happening in these blue states like California and New York and New Jersey, and again, my home state of Illinois, as you know, I'm from the Chicago area. I think Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world, but it's being ruined by progressive governance, just like what's happening in Los Angeles and San Francisco and, New York City, frankly. But you're seeing this steady migration out. And so the people who are leaving tend to be the job producers, the people who create jobs, the business owners, men and women who are just saying, I'm fed up, I'm out of here. And that seems to me to be a vicious cycle where you're just going to have more and more. Well, it makes it harder, paradoxically, to reform these states because, for example, in New York, Lee Zeldin would have been elected governor. He would have been a great governor, except that 1 million New Yorkers who had left were Republicans. So there weren't enough Republicans to elect. And by the way, I'm not a rah-rah Republican. There are pretty bad Republican governors too. But the point is, it makes it harder to reform these states, these blue states, because there's no moderates and Republicans left.
Yeah, no question about it. By the way, I'm talking to you today from just outside of Chicago in the suburbs. And my family, both sides of my family are from Chicago. And the idea that Pritzker should be president is... Oh, my God.
What a joke. Let me just interrupt. Can I just interrupt you for a second? I mean, because you're making a really important point. I'm reading all these things about who are the front runners for the Democrats in 2028. And the three names that come up are Pritzker, who's the second worst governor in America, Gavin Newsom, who is the worst governor in America, although Hochul's pretty bad, and then AOC, who's Looney Tunes. That's the Democratic Party today?
It is, actually. If you do internal polling, the strong plurality wants them to move left. The Democrats today are much like the Labor Party of the 70s, where the rank and file is just that committed to these far left things. Think of the California legislature today, despite what Newsom wanted, is passing a bill that says that selling kids 16 and 17 for sex is not a felony. That is passing the legislature. That is how far left they are. And so you asked the question, yes, the middle class has been gutted. A lot of people have gone to low tax states, but in politics, you have opportunities. Opportunities take leadership, and with a plan and execution. And so, as you know, there are some candidates running in California, Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco. I've counseled them both. Be very clear and specific on 2 or 3 solutions that you want to bring and put them in people's hands. Don't play nice. Don't say I'm a nice Republican. Say I'm going to fix your problem of income or whatever it is with this plan. Too many times, Republicans are soft on plans, and that doesn't work.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
Your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for a light and fit remix. Like a crunchy storm of graham cookies, caramel pearls, and dark chocolate, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 3 light and fit remix varieties with craveable flavors and up to 120 calories and 10 grams of protein per 4.5-ounce serving. See remixyogurt.com.
So good, so good, so good.
Get ready, because Clear the Rack is on at your Nordstrom Rack store. Now through Monday, find incredible deals on Wear Now styles. On sale for even less at Nordstrom Rack. Take an extra 25% off red tag clearance throughout the store from brands like Free People, Steve Madden, Vince, and more. All sales final. The best stuff goes fast. So shop this sale at Nordstrom Rack today. Please see NordstromRack.com or ask a store associate for details.
Well, we saw, look, these places can be reformed. I saw this. Most of our listeners saw this and experienced this in New York when Rudy Giuliani became mayor of a city that was in rapid decline. And within 5 years, New York was back. So California can come back. New York can come back. Chicago can come back. When you have good leadership, it makes all the difference in the world, Tom.
Yeah, no question about it. And that's why it's, there's this national fight of everybody against Trump and Trump, fighting the establishment. I tell people, look, either you accept we can't do $2 trillion deficits and $37 trillion or $40 trillion in national debt. Which side do you come down on? And you saw the Journal this week, I think on Friday, talk about slashing spending. Really? We need to go back to 2019 levels. Not $160 billion is not slashing anything.
Yeah, no, it's so true, so true. Well, Tom, one last question on the way out. California wants to ban gas cars. Really?
Well,
it's
remember,
absurd.
For Democrats, it's not how you perform; it's how you talk. And the idea that they have. That AOC is out there and they're not stopping her and they can't stop her. So it's rhetoric versus reality.
Yeah.
That will never hold up in the long run, but it is. And I think even Gavin Newsom will say, okay, well, we need to moderate that, blah, blah, blah. Because, look, he's a weather vane politician. Yeah. He wants to be president, so he will change his views with the prevailing wind.
Well, he will, but I mean, I think the Republicans, and again, I'm not a rah-rah Republican, but if I'm running against either Pritzker or Gavin Newsom, it's, do you really want to make America look like California and Illinois?
Exactly.
Yeah. Tom, hey, great to be with you. I hope you have a great weekend. That's Tom Del Bacario. Get his book, folks, The Lessons of the American Civilization, which I think is one of the best history books I've read in a long, long time. Folks, we'll be right back. This is the More Money Show on WABC and other affiliated stations.